while we wait for others to join, so just drop where you're tuning from. Thank you very much, everyone. So while we're dropping that in, we'll be starting. So welcome once again to Flutterwave Product Workshop. This is the final edition for the year 2024. And we have two sessions for today. Firstly, about how you can maximize sales for your business as the year runs down, and also how you can secure these sales that you've made during this period and also the ones you've made throughout the year. So, okay, I see South Africa. Okay, thank you. Keep it coming. So yes, while we're going to it, I'll be introducing our speakers. So we have 4 speakers for today and 2 panel sessions. You can also drop your comments in the chat box. So for our speakers, for the first session, we have Omolabake Raji, founder of Q Cakes and Treats, and also Chioma Okoye, founder of Skin It. For the second session, we have Shiwa Komolafe, which is who is the global head of compliance at Cheaper Cash, and also Wisdom Joshua, senior product manager at Flutterwave. So for the first session, I'll be handing over to our speakers for introduction. I am Olabake. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
All right, my name is Omolabake Raji, and I am the founder of Q Cakes and Treats, an online bakery based in Lagos, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Omolabake. Hi, Chioma. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chioma Onye. I'm the founder of Skin It Beauty Shop, a skincare brand that sources authentic skincare products from the US, UK, Korea, Japan, and so on. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Omolabake. Thank you very much, Chioma. So we'll be going to the first session. So our first question: how do you make your product offerings unique and keep them appealing to your customers despite many competitors? So the first set of questions are for both of you. So hi, Omolabake, please go ahead.
Okay, first thing is to understand what your USP is, understand what your unique selling point is, what exactly is the draw for your business, what draws people in. And when you understand that, you can then double down. There's a reason why your customers are choosing you, regardless of the number of people or number of competitors that you have in the market. When you know that, yes, so expand on your USP as best as you can. For QC now, it's customer experience, quality product. They can trust that they are going to get the value of their money. And that's something that we've been able to leverage on heavily. The fact that they can give their words over and again to their friends and family that, oh, if you try their product, it's really good, it's really nice, you have a good customer experience. And that's about it.
Thank you very much, Omolabake. You mentioned USP, having a good USP, that's unique selling point. Then also about having a wonderful customer experience and quality products. Thank you very much. Over to you, Chioma. So how do you also make your products unique and keep them appealing to your customers despite many competitors?
Hello, everyone. Skin It offers same-day delivery for everybody in Lagos. I mean, that's like a very unique thing because most times people just order products or other things online and you have a delivery time frame like 2 to 3 working days. So Skin It has made it possible that when you order your products today in Lagos, you're going to get it today in Lagos. And again, we are unique because of our pricing. We've been able to introduce affordable products to the market. People would always come to us because our products are affordable. Then we are unique because we offer quality products to our customers. They're coming to us because they know they're going to get quality products from us. So
Thank you very much, Chioma. Yeah, you mentioned same-day delivery, which is a good thing when we have 2 to 4 days as most delivery timelines. And you mentioned the delivery and the product being affordable. Thank you very much. So we're going to specific questions. So Omalabake, um,
Yes,
how do
please.
you, how do you balance offering discounts or promotions with maintaining profitability? You know, this is one of the ways to attract users. So during this holiday season, discount is one of the ways most small businesses use to attract users, even large businesses. So how do you balance this product offerings and also maintain profitability?
First is to understand your pricing. If you understand your pricing, you know how far you can go and the room that you can wriggle around. As it is right now, with the economy and cost of production hiking, if you understand your price, you know when you can give a discount or not. At the moment, our cost of production continues to skyrocket on a daily basis. So what we are focusing on right now is value-based pricing, is the fact that your customer knows that they are going to get the worth of what they are paying for and even more. That way, they're not too, what's it called now, to part away with their money. Productions, promotion discounts is few and far in between for us at the moment because we're trying to just stay afloat with the, I mean, today you buy vegetable oil for 75K, the next time you're restocking, you're buying for 100K. That leap is crazy, but that your customers can trust that regardless of how expensive things are, they're still going to get excellent quality for their money. And you need to be able to communicate that value. So even if you're still maintaining quality or even trying to exceed expectations with your quality, your customers need to be able to know that. It's a different thing for you to know that in-house, be able to translate that and communicate that effectively to our customers. So value-based pricing, basically.
Thank you very much. So you mentioned value-based pricing, knowing the cost of production, and in our current economy in Nigeria where things skyrocket, so price of things can change. So you also have to inform your customers and also put your pricing based on the value you're given. So hi Choma, so this is for you. So in your experience, how do you personalize customer engagement and follow-ups? Okay, how does personalized customer engagement and follow-ups impact holiday sales performance?
okay, so I would always say that personalized engagement and follow-up work hand in hand, and they're very crucial to a business, especially during this holiday season when everybody is busy. So a simple check-in, a simple thank you for your order, a tailored product recommendation would go a long way in letting your customers know that, oh, this brand actually sees us. So it helps to enhance customers' experience, and it also helps to increase conversion rates. When you send personalized reminders about upcoming sales, special offers, reminders to your customers, it helps them complete abandoned cart reminders. When you send all those reminders to your customers, first off, it encourages them to complete their purchase or even help them make new purchases. It's also personalized engagement also helps you stand out as a brand. It makes your customer feel appreciated and valued. I mean, with everything happening during the holiday season, so many promotions out there, so many activities, customers want to go to a brand that sees them, that understands their needs, and sends personalized, engaged mails to them. Do you understand? So customers are always going to go for a brand that sees them and makes them feel appreciated and valued. It also helps you as a brand to collect feedback. It gives you an avenue to hear from your customers, evaluate your performance. It also helps the reviews you collect from customers helps you to build your social proof. for future customers. So personalized engagements go a long way in making your brand stand out, especially during the holiday season.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So you mentioned sending personalized messages, reminders on cats
Almost sales,
comment. Yeah. So I
yeah,
think
abandoned carts.
enterprise businesses also use this, because I know there are sometimes I post payment at checkout on some sites, and I get a mail in like say 30 minutes that, oh, okay, you've not completed your payment. So yeah,
Yeah.
enterprise guys would also find that very useful. So you also mentioned it can be used as a means to collect feedback. So while we
Yes.
here, so thank you very much, Emma. While we pause here, please, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the Q&A session, so that we'll take note of this and we can ask our speakers during the Q&A session. So hi, Choma. So this question is for you. So many customers are cautious about skincare products due to quality concerns. How have you built trust and communicated the product effectiveness, especially this holiday season? Sometimes you might be running, say, promotions or something. So users might have this concern based on quality. So how do you communicate this effectiveness, the product effectiveness to them?
Okay, so I would always say that building trust involves consistency and transparency. You have to be consistent, you have to be transparent, and you have to have good customer service. Consistency at Skin is to be consistent with providing quality skincare products. It has been something we've been doing for our customers for a long time now. They know this, they trust us, they know that when they're coming to Skin, they're going to get quality skincare products. And customer service, we've kind of created an environment, built a safe environment where customers can easily reach out to us if they have any concerns. We've made them feel comfortable, made them feel okay with our brand, so always reach out to us if they have any concerns. Then for transparency, our brand has always been transparent with how we source our products and where we get products from. Everything about our brand is very transparent. And during this holiday season, so many people might have, there are so many things used to happen during holiday season. So some people might come up with doubts and would not hesitate to, reach out and correct any doubts that anybody might have. And I think something happened recently that I would like to share. A customer reached out to us and complained that a product that she has always gotten looked different from what she had gotten from us before. So we had to address that quickly. We told her, the brand changed their packaging. But when she was reluctant to believe that, we had to send a mail to the brand, and the brand reaffirmed the authenticity, and we had to send it to the customer. When we sent it to the customer was really, really happy, because she was not even expecting that we go to the brand, reach out to the brand to confirm all these things. So when we reached out to her and she saw the mail and everything, she was really happy. And she even had to put out a tweet saying, Skin It's best in customer service or something. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we are always ready to jump in and correct any doubts that somebody might have about our brand. We've been consistent, we have good customer service, and we're just here to serve our customers. So we're going to give them the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So you mentioned building trust and consistency. So as small businesses, you have to build trust and consistency with your users. And also, so when they see this, either via your pages, new users can always trust you. Then you also mentioned when there's a change, communicating with the users, just as you said with when the packaging changed, when the company changed their packaging, you informed the user about it, and also went extra mile. So as small business owners, I hope you're taking note. Also, please don't forget to drop your questions. Yes. Okay. So Omolabake, so can you share one unique strategy you used last holiday season to boost sales, and what were the results like? So I'm sure our small business owners are really curious. So please.
One thing we did last year, and we're doing it again this year, is leveraging heavily on your existing customer base. They've tried you, they've tested you, and now they've trusted you. They are your go-to, they are your brand ambassadors. They are the ones who are going to spread the word about your brand that, yes, I parted with my money, I got value for it, and then they can then in turn convince their friends and family to come, make purchases. It's way easier to sell to existing customers than it is to acquire new ones. So focus very much on your existing customer base. Of course, we want to acquire new customers, and we're working on that, but the existing customer, that's where the money is. You don't need to talk too much. Just tell them you have this available. You can also study their data. You know their preference. You know the things that they buy, the things that they like, their concerns. Either they have dietary concerns, they don't want their cake to taste this particular way. They like certain flavors. Oh, we have this size available. You can also mix it with this. You know them. So communicating with your existing customer base is the easiest thing to do. If you send personalized messages to, like Chema said, personalized messages, send it to what, like 50 of your existing customers. Give it a week or two and look at how many of them are going to come in to make purchases. It is the easiest hack I think there is. But of course, the bottom line of all of this is that you maintain quality. That they are your existing customer base does not mean you act shoddy and 1 minute they taste something great, the next minute they're like, they check the brand nylon, is this it? Is this? If you can maintain that quality, they will spread your. You think that you paid them for influencing with the way they're going to spread the word about your brand. So leveraging heavily on your existing customer base, they're where the money is at.
Okay, thank you. So, can you please share? So you mentioned you leverage on your existing customer base last year. So can you please maybe just give us, maybe not all the results, but just a few sneak peek of what the results were last year?
In figures, like how much money we made.
Maybe not much, in number of orders, something like that. So you could give a range.
Oh, okay. For one, if we're talking, let's talk about the referrals that came in from them. We had one of our biggest bulk orders that we've had so far from them, and it just came from one QC fan member mentioning us to their HR. I jokingly mentioned that in one of our posts on WhatsApp status yesterday. Like, tell your HR about QC today. It was a joke, yes, but it was because it happened last year, and that was exactly how we got a bulk order for banana bread for their breakfast meeting. And now their company now, I don't need to go through that particular QC farm. They just come in and they make their purchases. The point is, I know I keep emphasizing on product quality, is the fact that the person could trust that I'm not going to, QC is not going to go and shame her. We're not going to chop her height, so to speak, yeah? That they're going to get value for what they paid for. So December last year, we made about 30% more from existing customers as well as their referrals. So revenue wise, about 30 to 35% more than we do month to month.
Wow, those are really great numbers. Those are really, I think I should start a small business. So yeah.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
It's so stressful.
Yeah, but there's benefit at the end of the stress. Thank you very much, Omolabake. You mentioned that leveraging heavily on existing customer base, being though acquiring new ones can be a bit tough. There's a cost to acquiring new users, even for small business and large scale business, large businesses. Also looking at the data, what your users like, leveraging on that to tailor your product, then maintaining quality so that every time they come to you, they have quality. And also a a quote that we use a lot internally here at Flutterwave is that customer loyalty is the best sales and marketing tool, which is what Omolabake also showed by how the customer also referred our HR to her. So she has got a tagline, tell your HR from that. So yeah, we have one more question for you, Malabake. So how do you balance offering discounts? Okay, we've gone over this. So the holiday season is a busy period for food business. How do you prepare your business to meet this increased demand while maintaining quality?
Okay, sorry, I was muted. For one, last year, and that is you going over whatever mistakes it is that happened the years before, and how we can correct that. Last year, we had major logistics challenges because towards the peak period, a lot of customers like late shopping. Nigerians love late shopping. We love to shop. We like to leave it late. So understanding that, we underestimated the numbers last year. So we this year is to correct those errors, because last year I had to make some deliveries myself. I was jumping everywhere in Lagos. I was going from Akoka to Abuleba, like it was, oh God, no, affliction shall not rise again. So so understanding that and that's the thing about understanding your customers. You know they are going to come late, so we have enough stock. Then logistics, basically to stock the production. We don't mind keeping late nights. We don't mind working around the clock. But logistics is something that it's not entirely in our control. So this year we've partnered with logistics companies that we found to be reliable, and they have really great customer service, because that was part of the issues last year. At some point, I can remember one particular scenario where the rider stopped about how many feet away from the customer's address. The address was clearly stated, mind you, and it required the customer to come collect it at a location of his choosing. Fine, it was close to her, but that's not the point. We're doing door delivery. That's what your company promised, but that was not what happened, and that was a challenge. So this year we've partnered with logistics companies that will not raise my blood pressure. It's not going to cost me anxiety, as well as my customers as well. And we also extended our delivery timeline. And this is not just for the holiday period. As of last year, we're doing 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. as a delivery timeline, the promise that you get your product within a particular time to a particular time. Now we have learned, we've extended that and pushed it back a little bit. So certain orders for like custom cakes and or it's better delivered early in the morning, so it's not part of it. But banana bread for us really boomed this year, so we extended that. Our customers, so the thing is, it's just about finding a fine balance, right? They like you warm, they like you fresh, they like you quality. All the things QC is known for, yes, but they want it early as well. 1 minute, please. Oh goodness. So they want it early as well. So what we found to do is to extend our delivery timeline and increase that from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. That way, within that 5 hour window, we can promise that regardless of whatever part it is you are in Lagos, your product will get to you in time, as exactly as you like it, and just to communicate that basically. So logistics was the challenge last year. We learned from it, and now we have more than enough. As a matter of fact, we partnered with more than one delivery company, so that way we have more than enough bike. So that way for mainland deliveries, island deliveries, we have like 2 to 3 that would be just for island deliveries, because Egbeda is pretty far from Lekki, it's pretty far from VI. But we have customers there, and the hope and prayer is to continue to grow, right? So yes, we've been able to find a way to manage that.
Okay, thank you very much. You mentioned knowing what the pain points are from the previous holiday sales. For your case, it was logistics, and you even had to intervene and solving that, even not for the holiday period, but for the entire year, so your customers don't experience the issue they had last year. Thank you very much, Omolabake. So, the final question for this session, is goes to Choma. So, what advice would you give small business owners preparing for their first holiday season in terms of maximizing sales? I said earlier that I'll be starting my business. Probably not for me, but we have some people that they started their business this year and they are about to go into their first holiday season. So what advice would you give them?
Hello. So I would always say plan ahead. It's planning, it consists of planning. Just plan. Set clear goals. What do you want to achieve with these sales? Do you want to sell out old stock? Do you want to make more money? Anything you want to do for your sale, just have a clear plan what you're working towards. Then stock up your popular products. Do not start sales today, and today your products are finishing like that. So you have to stock up your popular products, what will entice people. Then you have to have good customer service. I mean, you can sell very nice things, quality things, but if you don't have good customer service, I mean, it's not a good rep. So you have to have a good customer service. You have to offer fast and reliable delivery. I see people, I mean, it works according to time frame, but I see people doing sales for maybe 2 weeks and they will be like, oh, you're not going to get your product or orders till after the sales. I mean, if someone else there is offering you discounts on all products and they're also offering you that you're going to get your products like tomorrow, obviously you're going to go to the person that offered you more. Offered you more. So yes, and analyze after the sales, analyze and learn. Learn from your mistakes, learn from the feedback. It's all about learning. Do not, put so much on yourself. Try as best as you could to, work things out. But then whatever happens, learn from it, and it's just going to keep on getting better. This first, or after the first sale that you do as a brand, the next one is always going to be better. So relax, be in your elements, offer good customer service, offer fast delivery, and just do your thing.
Thank you very much, Chioma. You nailed it. So basically having a clear plan, so know why you're doing the sales. Do you want to clear off old products or do you want to make more money? So good customer service, fast and reliable delivery. Don't deliver after the sales. I think that's a notable takeaway. Thank you very much, Chioma and Omalabake. This is the end of this session. So questions for you. We'll take questions for you at the Q&A session, which is after the second session. So you can just drop comment in the chat box. Panelists will know that you're following them and you really got a lot of tips. I got a lot of tips that will apply in my business that I plan to start. So to our second session, so while we about to start our second session, so just nudge your friends, community members that are yet to join. Please nudge them that they've missed half of the session, but they've not missed all. There's still another session waiting, and this is important because all the sales that you've made in your business, if you're not careful, fraudsters can just come and sweep everything away. So this is as important as the first session. So nudge your friends, colleagues, and community members to join. So we'll be going to the second session, themed Safeguarding Your Business Against Holiday Fraud. So we have two speakers, as mentioned before. So our two speakers will be introducing themselves now. So Aisheung, please introduce yourself to our panelists. Join us.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwaseun Akomolafe, currently the global head for regulatory compliance at JIPA, where I oversee all of our global compliance initiative across different jurisdiction regions as a certified fraud examiner, as a financial crime specialist, and with somebody that has the guile to promote ethical businesses across small and big businesses. So thank you for joining.
Thank you very much, Sheil. Thank you. We appreciate. So Wisdom. So let's meet you.
Yeah, Hi guys, so Wisdom here. I'm the senior product manager at Flutterwave. At the moment, I lead our enterprise business. So What I pretty much do is manage the roadmap across the enterprise business, ensuring everything around payments, right, is sorted, and enterprise guys are able to grow their businesses, scale their businesses, and of course, generate as much revenue as possible. So thanks, Ekpe.
Thank you very much. So we'll be going right in. So we'll be going to specific questions now, then we'll take the general question after. So, Aisha, so what are the most common types of fraud businesses face during the holiday, and why are they more prevalent at this time? So it's a twofold question.
All right. Thank you, Okpe. I would like to start with if a survey with the Association for Certified Fraud Examiners, right? They are very vast in the fraud prevention environment, and they have estimated that 5% of business revenue, right, is lost due to fraud and fraudulent behaviors. So if you do the maths, right, imagine you are coming from January to November and you are steady. December, you are expected to spike, right? Then 5% of it is gone to fraud. If you do the maths, that's a lot of number. So why is fraud more prevalent during this period? Simply because you want to increase sales. You want to attract more attention to your products. You can see what Labake and Chioma have been talking about, all the strategies just to improve what their sales are. So, and one thing that strikes me between both conversations is that, yeah, they want to know their customer, they want to know their business, which is very essential, which means that if you don't know your business, if you don't know your customer, if you don't know the why you are in business, any period will meet you as a shock, right? And if you don't know how to respond to that, what your customers are, you are already a vulnerable subject for anybody that wants to do fraud. So from your own perspective, you should be sure that you have covered the angles of opportunity. There's a fraud triangle popularly credited to a, 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 a developer of this, which is Cressy, right? There's the opportunity, there's the pressure, there's the rationalization. The opportunity part is what you want to focus on. What are your internal controls? How do you mitigate against all of this fraudulent intent? Because as a business owner, if you don't know how to do fraud, right, your appetite to control fraud will not be high. That does not make you a fraudster, right? It's just for you to know that this is what can go wrong, this is how it can go wrong, and all of this. So when it comes to holiday period, you should be expecting increased transaction. Fraud will be more prevalent because the higher the number, the higher the bad actors. So the sheer volume of transaction during the holiday shopping seasons provide more opportunities for fraud. So what have you done to curb all those lags? Also, this period is associated with weakened vigilance, right? Everybody just wants to be happy. Everybody is rushing, right? Uh, the lower their guard, and again, makes you a vulnerable subject because fraudsters will prey on those vulnerabilities, which comes with the period that we are currently facing. Also is staff shortage. You find out that because there's an increase in sales, there's an anticipation that you will make more, you attend events, you move from spot A to spot B, you might need to hire temporary staff or operate with less employees during that period because this period is also that people want to go on holiday, right? Maybe your staff has not gone on leave from January to November and it says, I want to go on leave. Then you're like, okay, as a business, how do I mitigate this? You hire a temporary staff. That hire alone is what you have a lapse in your security protocol because that person does not understand what you have been doing 2 years ago. That person does not understand what you have been doing since January to November. Even if you try to, give that person a lot of information at that point, it's not as when you have your major hands on ground. So you now exposed to different types of fraud. There's the online fraud, and online fraud is mostly attributable to card fraud, right? Because it's one of the most popular payment method. People can steal card, So business needs to ensure that their payment system are secured. because online transactions are going to be increased, and they are susceptible to all those data breaches. Vendor fraud as well. I like the example of is it Omolabake, where she engaged a logistic partner, right? Because you are expected to do door-to-door delivery, but you didn't do that. You stopped halfway and you didn't fulfill that. However, that can also come under your vendor fraud, because at that point in time, at that period of time, a vendor that you have engaged can give you substandard products. They can fail to deliver on time. They can engage in overcharging of goods and services, all of those things. So as a business, you are also prone to those kind of fraud, because that person is going to leverage on that period because of the heights in the demands at that point in time. Also, we have social engineering and phishing attacks, right? You see phishing mails going around, and you don't expect it to decrease during the holiday period. So typically, when you are having a busy period, fraudsters are always at one corner trying to look at who is available for those attacks. So
Okay, thank you very much, you. Thank you very much. That was really, really packed. Yeah, please, if you are not writing, please take down notes somewhere so that you don't lose out on all these benefits. All these benefits. So yeah, Sharon, you mentioned 5% of businesses' revenue gets lost. I'm imagining 5% is huge. So you also mentioned a lot of things like social engineering and phishing emails are on the rise. Then new IR will also hamper security protocol. Also, there's also increase in sales during this period. Increase in sales is directly proportional to increase in fraudsters. Then you also mentioned the three triangles of fraud. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shil. So iWisdom, over to you. So what are some cost-effective steps that businesses can take to safeguard themselves against fraud?
Very. So I'm going to list out a couple of items, let's say about 6, right? And if you're listening to Sharon, you'd of course understand why fraud is prevalent during the holidays, right? You expect a lot of phishing emails and all that. I believe your employee, like you're only as strong as the weakest link in your establishment. It doesn't matter if you're an enterprise business or if you're an SMB. So you're only as strong as your weakest link. So employee training is my first item, right? So spend some time, right, figuring out or educating your employees. It doesn't matter if they're a company of 2, 3, 10, 100, right? Spend some time on security trainings, right? It could be something as simple as a Udemy course or even a YouTube video, right? Understand the impact of phishing emails, understand how to carry out basic checks, right? Just to prevent someone within your company being exposed to phishing emails, and of course, introducing some level of vulnerability into your system. So that's like the first one, employee training, the first one, right? Next one is secure payment systems, right? So as you make your decision towards how to receive payments for your services, most of you would want to receive payments online. Spend some time ensuring that whatever partner you work with, right, has the required licenses, right? Are they licensed to process card payment? Do they have the right security technology to support you, right? Which is where Flutterwave comes into the picture. But spend some time making that decision, because most of, if you look at the patterns, right, there's always an end goal. The pattern there, especially when it comes to fraudsters, is always to get to the money, right? So that's the point. So what better path than to tackle your payment system, right? So spend some time on that. Of course, monitor your transactions, which is the third item. I know you'd probably be thinking about, I want to grow volumes, I want to increase sales. But when you see a spike in your transactions, right, also think about, is this spike organic, right? Does it really translate to this marketing plan I decided to put in, this initiative I'm putting in? Are these like very valid customers making payments to me? So this is like an organic spike. So it shouldn't be a case of someone is probably using stolen entities like cards to make payment. Because if you think about it, right, the process for fraud most times the entities used in making payments, when I say entities, I'm referring to like the payment entity. It could be card, it could be bank accounts, right? Most of these entities don't actually belong to the customers who are making payments. So they use systems, e-commerce platforms as a way to ensure they gain value. Because at the end of the day, fraud is meant to bring value to whoever is committing that fraud, right? So you need to look at that spike. Is it organic, right? Is it really a link, or does it align with the sales, the marketing plans I've been putting in? Do I know these customers? So that's where monitoring your transaction comes into play. Next one is data protection. Think about data protection. Where do you store this information? Your customer's information. Is it just seated on one CSV file that is easily transferred across the organization, across your own? It could be, you could be a one-man business, right? But where is it stored exactly? Is it seated in a diary, literally in your room, or you take that diary to probably to school, to your religious establishments, and someone can easily access that. So data protection, because that also can help fraudsters when it comes to simulating an actual attack, right? Or the whole phishing thing, right? They attempt, because they have basic information about the establishment, they're able to trigger that attack with making it look like an establishment. So data protection, right? Next one is vendor vetting. So as an SMB, as an enterprise business, partnering with stakeholders, right? You, of course, you can't do everything yourself, right? I think you clearly heard our Labake, sorry if I murdered your name, was able to partner with logistics companies to help deliver, right? So you need to think about, as you partner with vendors, right? Are you sure these vendors, what kind of agreement do you have with them? Is it tight, right? You're not exposed in any way, right? So you need to have SLAs, all that tailored to your agreement. The last one is fraud detection software. I know this is a bit too robust for maybe the SMEs, right? And that's why you need to, for the SMEs, you need to spend some time thinking about the payment entity you're working with. So most times they would cover that. But for the enterprise businesses, right, you also need to think about what fraud detection software should you be embedding in your system, right, to look out for patterns, help you automate some of those processes. So those are like the 6 items I would want to put out there. So you have that at the back of your mind as you think through the holiday period. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wisdom. That was very, very robust. Thank you. So just to mention, you mentioned 16 employee trainings, training your employees, because mentioned you're as weak as your weakest link. So also using thinking about payment ahead, using a secure payment processor when you need to collect payment, because your payment is what the fraudsters are targeting. So I've learned a new quote today. Fraud is meant to bring value to the fraudsters, so they are targeting the funds. So you have to use a secure payment processor, where Flutterwave comes in here, because we are a secure payment processor and we are here to process your payments. So monitor your transactions. So don't just be happy when you see the numbers growing. Also monitor and ensure that you carry out due diligence when you see spikes, so that you're not using stolen cards. Also data protection, and also using fraud detection softwares. Thank you very much, Wisdom. So, Wisdom, so for you again, so could you please explain some of the security features we've implemented, we as in Flutterwave, to help businesses and their customers stay away from stay away during the holidays and have the peace of mind that their accounts, their transactions won't be compromised by fraudsters?
Yeah, so thanks, Akbar. So as a payments entity or as a payment service provider, right, we're licensed, right, we're PCI licensed, so it means a system is robust enough or secured enough to collect card details, process card details without any form of exposure, right? So we have that standard in place, which is like, I'll put that as a basic fundamental function, right? So you don't even need to worry about that. In addition to that, we have like a fraud monitoring system, which is able to look at patterns. As transactions are processed on your system, we're able to look at patterns, right? To ensure when we notice a particular set of patterns, we can block those attempts, right? So that also is part of the foundation or the basic offering provided as a company to you, right? But in addition to that, right, depending on how you interact with us, we have quite a number of features we've embedded across our system. I'll start with a dashboard, for instance, right? And this also speaks to a bit of data protection because that's where most of your information will be found, your customers' information, the transaction information, right? We have 2FA enabled for login enforced across board. So you'd have to, whoever has access to your dashboard, if you have users, right? Maybe you've invited users to your accounts, right? Before they access your accounts or your dashboard, they need to personally authenticate that they are actually the ones trying to access that dashboard. So we have 2FA for login, right? We also have 2FA for even transfers for those who would want to pay vendors directly from the dashboard, right? We have 2FA. You can also set up your PIN, which ensures you have like a two-layer authentication. Remember, you log in, you confirm maybe using your email, your 2FA for login, and then when you want to do a transfer, you also personally confirm you're also the individual carrying out this, right? In addition, for those who are on your dashboard too, you'd also notice your secret keys are one-time view, right? So that's a very confidential information. So we ensure when you generate it, right, you're only able to see that once. You're expected to store that information, right? But it ensures that no individual can literally just log into your accounts, put your credentials, and use that to make fraudulent calls on your accounts without your notice, right? You can also control how funds leave your accounts, right? How do you want payouts to be initiated on your account? Do you want it from the dashboard? Do you want it from your APIs? Right. And even if it's API, we also support what we call IP whitelisting, preventing like literally limiting where those requests can come out from or come in from, right? So IP whitelisting is also enforced. Now these are basic activities or features you can handle on the dashboard. But if you move over to like the enterprise businesses or the corporates that interact with the APIs, right? There are quite a number of items we have there. Akpayemi has shared like the best practice documents, which you can also look at in the charts, right? But to call out a couple of them, I would say first one would be for the guys who use our checkouts or via our APIs. We have like the checksum service, which enables you to encrypt your data, pass that information to us, and we're able to pretty much confirm if something has changed because there's something called man-in-the-middle attack, which means from where you send a request to where the payment processor takes that request and processes those transactions, there could be potentially some level of interference. Because remember, these requests come in over the internet. So we have quite a number of advanced fraudsters who know how to leverage tools, third-party tools to intercept requests. So our checksum service helps in preventing and mitigating that because you're able to encrypt that. We are able to decrypt that in a way, right? We know when something has changed in that payload, right? And we're able to block such attempts if you use that service. We also have what we call the webhook secret hash, which allows you to confirm when a request is directly coming from us, because we would always send that hash which you choose to set up in whichever format you want. We also have a verify service for confirming transactions, right? Which ensures that you're pretty much able to confirm if a transaction has actually been paid for those who leverage on our APIs, right? I know I've been speaking more to like this second part has really just been for the APIs, the enterprise businesses, but for the small businesses, right? Let's say you use our no-code solutions like the payment links, right? What exactly are you supposed to do, right? What's the additional item? So outside the data protection, which we've already embedded on our dashboard, access control and all that, what would it recommend you do, right? Is leverage heavily on our dashboard for transaction confirmation, right? Every other thing has been built into the system. Our no-code solution covers every other security features. So if you're using our payment links, our invoices, right, invoice service, right, as donation links, right, please endeavor to make use of our dashboard to confirm those transactions. Don't run by word of mouth. Don't let someone tell you, oh, I've made a payment and this is a screenshot, right? To confirm those transactions. Yeah, and you can also reference our best practice to look at the number of things I've already mentioned. But yes, those are the things we've built within the last couple of years, right? To ensure your payments are safe and you can always keep transacting with Flutterwave. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Wisdom. That was a handful. I'm sure various segments of listeners, small business owners, enterprise, and everyone in between would have gotten their notes filled. So you mentioned PCI DSS. That means as Flutterwave, we are licensed. This license enables us to connect cards safely. So when your users are entering their cards, they might be asking, "Oh, is my card secure?" Yes, this license ensures that their card details are secured when they input it on the platform. So also you mentioned fraud monitoring systems, you mentioned 2FAs. 2FAs is two-factor authentication to enable that the person logging in is actually the one. So you mentioned that security around API keys, that you can only check it once. You also mentioned that about the IP whitelisting that we have for our APIs, for API merchants. That's you do transfers via APIs. So for small businesses, say you do transfers via your dashboard, you could also remove settings of you could also tweak the settings on the dashboard to only enable transfers via dashboard, or in cases where you also do via APIs, you can also do that. Thank you very much, Wisdom. That's that's great. So over to you, Sheol. So so in your previous while answering your previous question, you mentioned a lot of things. So what are the top three risks businesses often overlook during the holiday season, and how can they mitigate them?
Thank you, Okoyemi. And yeah, so the from the last explanations, some of the top risk business face during this period is evident, and I would like to start with cybersecurity threats, right? Businesses, especially the small ones, they may overlook the risk of cyber crimes during holidays. You know, it's most likely, banks, big corporates that are usually investing time because they understand what is going. The world is a global village. What has happened in Russia yesterday can hit Nigeria today, can go to South Africa tomorrow, right? So they invest a lot of that. But businesses, small ones, should not overlook that. They often do, but we are also forgetting that there are guys on the side that what they're after is how to attack a system. They are not on a large scale, right? They are not looking for big ransom funds. They are not looking at those ones. They're just looking at simple targets, move with it, and go. In fact, those kind of guys, their attacks usually not come out in the news, or it's not part of industry reports and all of that, but it's happening day to day, right? On your social media platform, you are seeing a lot of things. So businesses often overlook cyber security threats, right? And it's there because there's increased online traffic at that point in time, and it's a fertile ground for cyber criminals. So how do you want to mitigate that, right? Wisdom has said some things around training, right? Training staff to identify what phishing mails are, right? Understand what is suspicious, because I'm glad that our earlier speakers to the sales session were talking about how they understand their customer, how they know their preferences, right? So you should be able to understand your business end to end. Another risk that you might want to overlook as a business is employee fraud and collusion, right? If like we were saying the other time, if you hire a temporary staff for the holiday season, your internal fraud risk will rise, right? Because there's lapse in security, there's lapse in control protocols. You don't know the mindset of that person. Is the person triggered or incentivized by one of the fraud triangles, which the other one is rationalization, or it has a lot of depths at that particular point in time to come and work for your business. Be rest assured that that person is trying to rationalize or looking for opportunity on how to defraud your business. If the person sees that you can't do it alone, you bring people together. Let's do this, let's do that. You can even use customers, right? Customers that you think they want to buy from you, but they are trying to to defraud you. Because I think it was last week in the social media, you find one of the popular vendors naming and shaming one of their staff because that person has done what? That person has his own terminal, right? If you come to the store, try to make purchases, it directs you to that particular terminal, which is not for the business, right? But because you see that there's a terminal there, you think that, oh, this is legit. Or but if you read from the comments, people are like, oh, I've been noticing this stuff. I've been noticing this. Oh, it shouldn't be like that. But the terminal has a business name. So it's just like you go to a popular store or a filling station and you have to pay. But the name on the receipt is different. You just assume that, oh, say it's I bought the fuel here and this is the terminal, right? But it might be a large scale collusion happening between the staff because you can't tell me that somebody is operating a terminal, another staff member does not know. Maybe because the owner of the business is not always around. So they have a way of colliding and then, so how can you mitigate that? Do background checks, right? Provide training on fraud prevention because there's something about accountability. If you have trained somebody on what a fraud is, what controls are, that person becomes responsible for their action. So there comes some responsibility to accountability. And because we are a social being, what you know that is bad, you tend to not want to delve into it because it goes a long way, right? And you don't know the repercussions of those actions. So that's one place to mitigate. Another one is when you try to overlook your return and refund policies, right? We agree that return fraud is a widespread problem, right? Business sometimes overlook how lenient return policies can expose them to types of fraud, right? If your return policy is not clear, if your documentations are not clear, then you are exposing yourself to fraudulent returns. So what do? Review and update your return policies because your mode of servicing might have changed. Your suppliers might have changed, right? So how do you internalize that? Update your return policies and making sure that they are also customer friendly and fraud resistant because you want to balance how you manage fraud and you want to balance customer experience. Also ensure that all returns are verified thoroughly, checked to prevent any type of fraud. I would like to add imagine digital payment risk, right? Payment is changing. Way people make payments are changing. You see virtual, see cash, see bank transfer. I know Flutterwave have a host of all of those things, right? And like Wisdom also said, we want to avoid unregulated payment gateways because we're a small business. You might look like, oh, Flutterwave is too big for me. Then you just find somebody, your neighbor or somebody random says, oh, I can do this for you. Let's just do this and collect your payments. Meanwhile, this person doesn't have any license, does not know who CBN is, does not know who all of the regulators are, but small, it takes your money. You think you are doing fine, it takes your money, it tries to explain one or two things and you are confused, you leave it, and so ensure that you are able to monitor suspicious activity, ensure that your digital payment channels are from verifiable sources. And finally, I would like to use the vendor or supply chain disruptions, right? Businesses should particularly be cautious about disruptions from supply chain, right? Some suppliers may take advantage of the increase in demand to overcharge or deliver you for substandard goods. And we have seen this very popular in industries such as the pharmaceutical. We have seen it popular in the food, right? Where counterfeits can easily be made, right? People can easily profit from it. You see in the news, drugs, this person is producing this in his corner. Wines, this person is producing the same thing in his corner. So those kind of things that are very easily, that can be adulterated easily, you need to watch out for those suppliers, right? Because they are going to leverage on this period of time and you might just be overlooking it like, oh, this has changed. There was an example of the packaging that they had to reach out to the vendor from the earlier speaker, right? Just to vet. That is a good mitigation strategy. Vet suppliers thoroughly. Track your deliveries and transactions. Have clear contracts in place. How you can avoid any fraud risks. Allow for customer feedback. Very essential because your customers sometimes are your best friends to your business. If you don't give opportunity for feedback, if something is going wrong, a culture thing. Somebody can just leave your product, but it doesn't make you better because you are left with a piece of information that might have changed your business. So allow for customer feedback. Probably you want to organize gatherings, events where your customers come, you know them, you meet them, they feel very at home with you, right? And that's a mitigation strategy because you get a host of a load of information, and it helps you by being proactive in your business approach, and ensure a safer, more profitable season for you. So those are
Thank you very much, Shiro. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
those
So,
are some
done a lot.
looks and how you can mitigate.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shiro. You mentioned a lot. You mentioned cybersecurity threats. Though big businesses might take note of this, but small businesses might not, which doesn't mean it is not targeting them. The smaller guys that do that, though they don't make the news, but they are still lurking around the corners. Then also mitigating by training your employees so that they understand the business end to end. As a small business owner, you're employing someone, you have to train the employee to understand your business so that they also understand how fraudsters can come at each angle. So also as a business to when you're bringing in employees newly, that's like a fraud, that's a fraud leg. So you also have to train the employee, do background checks on them. Then also updating your policies around refunds, around chargebacks. You also have to update those policies so that you don't encounter fraud in those angles. You also mentioned emerging digital payment risks. That's using unlicensed payment gateways can also bring fraud to your doorstep. Thank you very much. So to wrap up this session, we'll be taking a question for both panelists. So Sean will go first. So if you're to leave our audience, if you're to leave our audience with one takeaway from today regarding how they can secure their business as we enter the holiday season, what will it be?
So one thing I would say, proactive customer communication, right? During the business holiday period, businesses should, preemptively communicate with customers about security protocols. Be transparent, right? Let customers know what security measures are in place to protect data, their transaction, because that kinds of reassure them without disrupting their shopping experience. Because ahead of time, you're already telling them that this is app notifications, help people to understand how they can verify URLs using secure payment methods, right? So that it's convenient for them and it benefits all of them. As we mentioned about faster checkouts and safer transactions, all of those multi-layers, but right, ensure that you communicate, right? And as they're getting that, I'm sure they will internalize it as well, so that anybody representing their businesses can take all those communications into practice. So customer experience while implementing robust security measures, it means that
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. You mentioned proactive communication about security protocols, always keeping your customers informed at every step. Then, if there are new changes to products, and also the security bit of that change that you need them to know, also communicating that. Thank you very much. So, Wisdom, same question. If you had to leave business owners, people that work for businesses that joined the call today, what would you leave them with regarding leaving them secure this holiday season?
Okay. For me, I would say, can you hear me clearly,
Yes,
Benjamin?
yes.
Yeah. So, for me, I would say, don't assume it can't happen to you, right? grow your business, and monitor your traffic. So actively look out for things, right? I'll use this illustration. I know a lot of people say, imagine someone says, when you walk down the streets, count the number of red cars, right? You'd be surprised at the number of red cars you count. Same applies to opportunities and even fraud, right? If you're looking out for patterns, the chances are you start seeing patterns, right? And then you can decide what you want to do with those patterns. So look out for it, grow your traffic, but look out for it. So I think that's what I would want to leave you with. But in addition to that, I'm an Oliver Twist, right? I'll add so this is like a 1A and 1B. So a 1B, right? Why not use Flutterwave, right? Use Flutterwave across your payments needs, right? It really would just help cover all that, right? We're already looking out for the red cars. So let us help you look out for the red cars. Right. So yeah, I think that's like the 1B section. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Wisdom. Thank you. You mentioned though Hazumi can't come to you. So I think this also speaks to what Sheil said before. That's seeing cyber threats on TV, that it should be the big corporate, the enterprise, the banks that should be worried. No, small businesses should also be wary of this. So you also mentioned that you should also look out for patterns, be on the lookout for patterns. And also, finally, you mentioned, yeah, use Flutterwave, since that we have you covered on all of this. And yeah, we do all these practices that we've mentioned today and would keep your payment secure. Thank you very much, Sheung. Thank you very much, Wisdom. Really appreciate your session. So I'm sure our business, small, large, medium, and enterprise businesses today really got a lot of points from you. Okay, so to one more question before we do a recap of both sessions, one more session for the for Chioma and Omalabake. So what's your most effective strategy? So if you want to leave our users today, you want to leave them with one takeaway from today. So what should be their most effective strategy for customer experience? Hi, Omalabake. Do you want to go first?
Hi, listening to your customers. So you have customers that even when you nudge them, even when you remind them, they're not going to give you an out and out feedback. It's not going to be verbal, they're not going to chat about it, but they're going to come back. That in and out of itself is a feedback. They found something good, valuable about your brand, and that's why they are returning. You have customers who will have not so good service and they're not going to tell you. For those who tell you, hold it very, very well. There is no rule that says that feedback has to be positive. Of course, we are aiming for positive feedback. That's the reason why you're doing what you're doing. You want to satisfy your customers. But sometimes you drop the ball. It is very, very essential when your customers tell you when you do drop the ball. So you should take those feedback, the negative, constructive criticism, hold it, take it, fix up, and make sure it doesn't repeat itself again. That's the only way you can get better. Already, if you have things that you're doing right, yes, the point is growth in all of this. We want to grow, we want to be better. So when they do give you negative feedback, you might be sad, but that's not the goal here. Wipe your tears, get back to work, fix what the error is, and make sure you don't repeat the same thing again to other customers. And that's in and out of itself. For your customers to know that you're actually listening to them, they will stay. They will continue to come to you over and over again. And also put yourself in your customer's shoe. If you don't think about when your customers to other brands, how your experience was, there are so many things you can learn from how a brand treated you, good or bad. Take it, put that into your own business and see how you can be better at it. And for the ones that customers are enjoying about your business, don't drop the ball on that. For the ones that they've given you feedback that you don't like, fix up and just be better. In the end, you want to give your customer such an experience that they go out and they're such brand ambassadors of your brand. They talk about you to the high heavens, they praise your brand to the high heavens. You'll be amazed at how many people are willing to part with their money from those kind of feedback. If you think about the kind of brand you also patronize, look at the things that made you patronize that brand. That's someone, 9 times out of 10, it's not because an influencer said it, it's because of someone I trust. a friend, a family member said, oh, that's a really good brand. And okay, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to do that. And then you go ahead to buy. So listen to your customers.
Thank you very, very much. That was really packed. That was one point to take away. Thank you. So listening to your customers, I think that cuts across everyone, whether you're a small business owner, large enterprise. Listening to your customers, um, don't just take the good feedback, the hard feedback that is bitter, that you don't like. Look at what went wrong and work on it. Make sure it doesn't happen again. And also look at the look at the brands you use. Look at the brands you use and why do you use them, and also incorporate it in your business. Thank you very much. So same Hi, Choma. So, same question for you. If you are to leave our audience with one takeaway on how they can effectively ensure customer satisfaction this holiday period, how can they go about it?
Hello. So I would say that our approach to customer satisfaction focuses on three major areas. First off, you have to set clear expectations for delivery. A lot of brands out there do not set clear expectations for delivery. During this holiday season that, everybody wants fast delivery. Everybody is traveling. It's important for you to be transparent and clearly communicate with your customers as to when they're going to get their deliveries. This avoids disappointment and helps manage customers' expectations. So when a customer is satisfied with your delivery process, customer is satisfied with your brand. And this is a season of love, giving back, and showing appreciation. We've made it a point of duty in Skinny to always appreciate customers. Customers love when you gift them. Most times, we just add small pack of juice into customers' orders, and they would tweet at us and they'll be very happy. So little things count a lot, go a long way in satisfying your customers. During our just concluded Black Friday sale, we not only offered discounts on all products, we also added free gifts to all orders. This is a way of showing our customers, oh, we appreciate you. Thank you for doing this with us all year. And when customers feel valued and appreciated, it increases their sense of satisfaction. Then something else I would always say, I've already said it before, quality. Always provide quality service and quality products to your customers. We at Skinit, we are providing quality products to our customers. Our customers know this, they trust us, they come to us and know that always going to be satisfied with whatever it is that they're getting from us. So set clear expectations for delivery, deliver quality product or service, and give to your customers. It's going to help in satisfying them.
Thank you, Choma. Thank you very much. So you mentioned three things, three in one. The approach, delivery, clear timelines for delivery. They also gifts your customers, gifts. Everyone loves getting gifts. I love getting gifts. So gifts your customers,
especially during the holiday season.
Yes. Especially when they've been with you through the year. So just gifting them is they are better satisfied and ensuring quality. Thank you very much, everyone. So just to do a quick recap of both sessions. So our first session, we had Chioma and Omalabake. They spoke about Omalabake mentioned unique selling points that you should have that. Then your customer experience has to be on point. Your product has to be really quality. Then Chioma also mentioned things around same-day delivery, also have good selling points. Then you being able to deliver same-day delivery in Lagos is like a really good way your business can stand out. So we also heard about understanding your pricing so that you don't over subsidize for your customers so that you can still remain profitable. Then sending personalized notes to your customers, also personalized abandoned cart messages. Then we heard about how you can ensure that when you're leveraging heavily your customer base, which was what Omolabake mentioned, we can also this can improve, create more awareness for our business. She got the tagline, "Tell your HR," because one of our customers told our HR because our products were good. Our products are good. So also paying attention to logistics this period, and also having a clear plan regarding your sales. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell off your products that you have before? Do you want to make X amount of money, grow by X amount? So thank you very much. That was what we got from the first session. The second session was towards securing your business throughout the year, especially this holiday season. A key thing she mentioned was 5% of businesses 5% of revenue is lost due to fraud. That is huge. That is huge. So you want to really be concerned about sales. Mention the front triangle, opportunity, pressure, rationalization. Wisdom mentioned employee training being key, then secure payment systems. Sean and Wisdom mentioned this, not using unlicensed regulators. Flutter is a secure payment processor with PCI DSS license. So also monitoring your transaction. Don't just be happy that you're making sales. You see a spike in transaction. Don't just be happy. Check, okay, oh, this spike is regular. Check to ensure that it is not, they're not using stolen entity, i.e. stolen cards. So we also saw Sheil mentioned cybersecurity threats, small business should not overlook this. So thank you very much. That was just a quick recap in case people joined late. So Q&A. We have a few questions. So you can also drop your questions here in the Q&A session. But we have a few questions for so I would go right to taking them. So this is for Wisdom. As a service provider that runs on Flutterwave's FAS, so I believe the FAS there is FinTech as a Service. When I notice a transaction or pattern of transaction that seem fraudulent, what steps can I take to handle such situations? I Wisdom, you're
So
mute.
I think I'll start with every. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
Mark
you.
is speaking. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So for the first step to take once you notice the transaction seems fraudulent, right, will be to first of all hold value, don't give value, right? That's the first thing, right? And you know your customers, you know the service you're offering, right? So you should be able to carry out second level validations, right? To confirm if they're actually making payments for the service they want to offer, you're offering to them. So hold value first and then carry out second level checks. And if you still cannot confirm, right? If you still cannot confirm that that transaction is still very valid, right? Then you can always go the route of the refund to source, right? So, but then again, right, you know your customer, you know the type of business you run, right? You should be able to hold value and then reconfirm from your customer before deciding on the next step. But if you still have questions around this, right, we can go lower. You can send us an email, right? And we can go lower into what's fintech or what's a fast service you're currently on, right? And we can go into that service, that we can go further to discuss that. But those are like the best steps. Hold the payments first, don't give value, investigate further. And if you find out everything is fine, you either give value, but if you're still not sure, you can always refund back to source, right? And if you still need to discuss this, please do us an email and we can discuss offline.
Okay, thank you very much, Wisdom. So the email Wisdom was mentioning is fraud@flutterwavego.com. So I'll drop that in the chat box. So you can shoot our fraud team an email there and they would pick it up and respond to you timely. Thank you very much, Wisdom. So the second question is around POS. So does Flutterwave have remote access and control to its POS terminals? Okay, to its POS terminals already deployed in the field. How can a merchant distinguish a remote access on its POS for a scammer that's okay from okay deactivates its remote access on its POS to avoid a scammer getting access. I think something like that. Yeah. I hope I got your question correctly. Okay. Just trying to take the question again to be sure I got it. So does Flutterwave have remote access and control to its POS already deployed in the field? How can a Flutterwave merchant distinguish a remote access control or activity on his POS from his scammer's activity? So Wisdom,
Yeah,
if you
I
have
think that's, can you hear me? Yeah, I think everybody can hear me except I'm not sure what's happening, but I think that's right. Yes, so Flutterwave does have remote access control and appears. Of course, we manage the payment options there, right? So those can be updated. But now the question is, how do you determine Flutterwave activity from a fraudster's activity? Technically, we don't expect a fraudster to have access to our POS terminals. It's like a one-way conversation, server to server encrypted and all that, right? So what you can do, there's always a support personnel assigned to every POS terminals outlets. There's always someone they can reach out to, right? So you can feel free if you're still not sure. And we usually would handle updates like off peak hours where you probably don't notice. But if you notice like a consistent glitch in system on your system hindering your activities, right? Please reach out to your support personnel, right? And they will definitely investigate further. But I would also like to let you know, I know you have like a dashboard. The dashboard's also made available for confirming POS transactions. So every transaction you process, please confirm on the dashboard, right? So that should already, once you see it on the dashboard, it shows everything is fine, right? And the amounts would most likely match. The amount on the POS will match what you're seeing on the dashboard. So those are like the basic checks you can confirm to be sure everything is fine, right? But if you notice a consistent glitch on your system, right, and you're not completely certain if it's an activity from Flutterwave, please reach out to your support personnel, right? Who would, of course, investigate further and get back to you. But we don't expect any form of exposure on that end because it's server to server encrypted and everything should be fine. But please reach out if you still feel someone needs to check it out. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wisdom. So yes, you can always reach out. I'll drop the email now. So you can always reach out to the email, fraud@flutterwavego.com if you encounter should you encounter any issue. So we have okay, so we have some questions here. So I'll just take okay. So what security feature do we have on our POS? Hi, Wisdom. Is that something you can
So,
take?
so what security feature do we have on our POS? Right. So first, like I said, right, your data is completely safe, right? It's encrypted end to end, right? But in addition to that, if you're paying through card, our POS devices would always request for a PIN, right? So of course, you're not going to expect any form of charge, and we are PCI compliant, so that rides on the same PCI logic, right? For those who have like a bank transfer service enabled, you already know that's powered by your banking system, so it's asynchronous. So you really don't need to put any additional information on the POS terminal. So let me recap that. Let me take that over again. Right, your data is server to server encrypted. So technically, the merchants don't even have access to any form of information used, like your card information. It's not going to be, it cannot be tampered with because that's completely powered by Flutterwave. They don't even have access. They can't see it. Right. So that's one. Then secondly, I said, of course, when you're paying, you put in a PIN, right? Of course, we also support like international processing for those. There's some level of approval required because some of those cards don't require PIN. For Nigerian payments, a PIN is always required. I think that's one. That's the second one. And then, of course, like I said earlier, we're PCI compliant, so that encryption, you can be rest assured that your details are safe, right? And no issues. So feel free to use your card on our POS terminals wherever you see them, right? Flutterwave's got you covered, but there's no issue at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Wisdom. So the last question, um, okay. So how can merchants advertise their product and landing page directly from the Flutterwave dashboard? Hi, Wisdom. So just quickly,
So we're a payment company, right? So if you're using our Flutterwave store product, right, you can of course broadcast. There's a way you can broadcast your product. You can go to your store section, but technically you cannot. You cannot advertise your product across Flutterwave's dashboards for all merchants. You can advertise your store products across our storefronts. We have like the Flutterwave storefronts where all businesses or all stores available are aggregated, similar to what you would have like across major e-commerce marketplaces. So we have a marketplace. That's what I mean by storefront, right? So you can advertise and publish that on that storefront, right? But not directly on the Flutterwave dashboard across different businesses, right? Again, this is based on close relationship and agreements with these businesses, right? You would envision like the likes of maybe a Netflix and Uber would of course be using a dashboard, so they would definitely not be jumping for any form of adverts, right, on the dashboard. But yes, if you're using our products, our Flutterwave store products, you can advertise that, right, across a marketplace. So feel free to explore the Flutterwave store section of the dashboard, right? And it's pretty intuitive. You should be able to advertise on our marketplaces.
okay, thank you very much, Wisdom. That's the final question for today. So, okay, thank you. Opayemi Ekundai also shared he shared a video that explains how you can also advertise. Thank you very much. So I just recall that I didn't introduce myself. So yeah, I'm Opayemi Temenu, technical account manager here at Flutterwave. So what I do is to ensure that merchants that come to use Flutterwave, they are successful with using Flutterwave. The success that they want to achieve, that when they start using Flutterwave, they achieve those goals and ensure that they grow, because when their business grow, Flutterwave also grows. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. We really appreciate you. For those that stayed all through from the beginning till the very end. So if you have further questions, you can always shoot us an email at Flutterwave Go, indicating that it is for the product workshop. They will definitely direct it to us. And this product workshop typically happens every month. So the next one would come in January. So be on the lookout for your emails in January. So we'll shoot you an email for the next product workshop. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful holiday season. Bye.